Hello, welcome back, everybody. Here we come. It's what did my son say? 9 days before Christmas. We only got 9 days, guys. So, how's everybody doing? Jester, how's it going?
It is going well, my friend. Good to see you guys. Good to have everyone here again. So thanks, everyone. I have to go shopping tomorrow and maybe even Monday too. Oh boy. I know. It's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, we were before the show today. We were upstairs. Me and Karen were upstairs getting the presents wrapped for the kiddos, organizing what we got or what she got. I didn't get anything. She does all the shopping. I'll admit that, but yeah. So we were up there doing that. So that was pretty cool. Ruff, how's it going? How's the Christmas shopping for you?
Well, not too bad. I'm not too bad.
That means it's crap, basically, because that's
no. Luckily enough, we have over here a little company over here called Amazon, and they deliver. So we haven't got a lot of. You must get it over there. You must. It's brilliant. But yeah. So I haven't actually done any physical shopping. I think the nearest I'm getting to, because again, the girls do it. Gaynor does it. She goes after all the bargains.
Yeah,
and gets all that. My daughter as well. But we are me and the boy are going out. We've been given some pocket money, and we're trundling down to the supermarket to buy all the sort of crap crisps and stuff that we all scoff on Christmas. So we're going to pick our own rubbish.
Get your own snacks and junk food and candy.
And all that.
All the good stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's it.
Well, let's say hi to people in the cheat, in the chat. I said cheat in the chat.
Chat.
Eric's here. He was first, by the way. You get to play
he
first.
Was.
He gets shotgun. Dangerous Dave, Charles, Will, Steven. By the way, thank you very much for the rules reference yesterday. We found out the Russians cannot go into an enemy hex. The Russian leaders cannot go into an enemy hex, and he pointed it out. And much appreciative.
Yeah.
Although it didn't help me at all, they still annihilated me. So, we got Marco, Bill, new guy, some guy named Herman Lutman.
Oh, he's turning into a bit of a sort of what they call him, stalker.
It's like a groupie.
Yeah.
Mike Berticelli, how's it going, Mike? Mike was with us yesterday, helped us with the rules, and was a great help. The other Mike, Meandering Mike, Edward Lasso, Patty, Coy, Bill, Simone. Boy, we got a lot in here. Let's see. I'm gonna Coy's here. Let's see. Groucho Marx is here. William Bird is here. Alistair, can't forget Alistair. He's always here.
Yeah, that was
a bad penny.
Yeah.
You know. Phoenix Knight, how's it going? Once again, it seems time to pretend to have a social life. Hey, you have a social life. It's with us. We are your social life.
Yeah.
So,
we are your social life. You should appreciate us.
Yes. We got Gareth. How's it going? Thomas, great show last week.
Yeah, great show. Thanks, Thomas.
Great show. Great
just want to say thank you, Thomas. I did send the addresses, and it went well. Everybody seemed to enjoy that one, so thank you again.
And then it's 12 cockpits of Christmas, so great.
Yeah.
Patrick. I haven't seen Patrick for a while. Hey, Patrick, how's it going?
Patrick, just so you know, since you haven't been here for a while, your record is still safe with us. Still safe. You're still number one.
Us two schmucks aren't gonna break it.
Yep. And Dangerous. Yeah.
Hold on. Put that.
Have you got your PunchedCon ticket yet?
I have. Yes, 4 days like yourself. I'm going to put a little thing up about it in case there's anybody else. I think most of the guys from this side of the pond are going to get the tickets who watch the show anyway. But I'll put a thing up to show you later on. Yes, 4 nights. Getting there Thursday. Yeah.
David Zell. Yeah, that's somebody. And he's very happy that the record's still there. So it was a lot. Thomas said it was a lot of fun, and then he said it was an honor, however you two do
the second way is the correct way.
Yes, Patrick Couture, one of my favorite Christmas shirts. It's the Christmas story, the boy who wanted a BB gun. You have the leg lamp, you have the Red Ryder BB gun, you have the rabbit, the bunny suit for the boy because his aunt thinks he's a girl, and yeah, it's all funny. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies.
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
It's called A Christmas Story. Great movie. They played on TNT 24 hours. It's a 24 hours of A Christmas Story.
Unfortunately,
4 times.
Unfortunately, I can't get TNT. Thank the Lord.
So, and it was a growler. Oh,
no, that's still wrong.
Anyways, so we've actually, been playing some stuff. I'm happy. I've just finished my semester of schoolwork. I just have 3 days of exams to give. I don't have to take them, so I'm happy about that. So I'm going to get some playing in. Actually, I have been playing PAX Premiere on Board Game Arena a lot just to learn the solo because I have the solo version. But I actually jumped in a turn-based game, so like when it lets you know when it's your turn. So I'm playing multiplayer.
You must have just started doing that because when I was on Board Game Arena Monday or Tuesday, it said Tony last log in 25 days ago. Or something.
It was literally I think Wednesday. I think I started it. So I can get it at school. So during my planning periods when I just need something to do, I can play a quick solo game and it works out pretty well. So which is it's been fun. I will be playing that. I will be filming it. I think I'm actually going to do a live stream of it as I play it. So since I'm going to have some more time and stuff like that, so people can jump in and tell me I'm doing stuff wrong and stuff like that. So with that, now Ruff, we played yesterday.
Yes, we did.
I won, so that was good.
No, you didn't.
But so we
Motherland Red Army annihilated you.
Yeah, you did. It was great. It was good fun. Great fun.
Yeah, great fun.
System. It was a tactical system.
Still coming to grips with it because it's very different, but
very, very different, which is what I like about it. It's like if you get a tactical system that's too similar, why have two of the similar ones? Let's try to do some new stuff. And this is definitely new. But you were telling me how much fun you were having with that game with the exclamation point.
Oh, for God's sake, yes. Who'd be a content creator? I tell you, I was hoping to get up part 2 of Combat, which I'm enjoying immensely. It's just the videoing of it. And Christmas, yes. And yes. Yeah, nobody likes a second place person. Anyway, yes, so I'm hoping to get the part 2 up. It was an hour and a half long because I went into everything and edited it and everything. It took forever. And I thought, just before I upload it, I better watch it again just to make sure because I'm a bit OCD about that. And 6 minutes in, I find that I'd made a drastic mistake with the orders. And I just couldn't continue with it because it would have made a mockery of the whole thing because it had the wrong order on it and all that. So I had to do it all again. And I'm up to an hour of recording. So hopefully next week it should be out. So yeah, it's just peed me off a little bit. Not the game, just the videoing of it. It's so hopefully that will come out next week.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where as you're filming or when you're editing and you look at it, you're like, But if you weren't filming it, you'd be like, oh, well, we're just going to move forward because...
Yeah. Or I just change it over and take it from there, But
that's why you do everything live.
Yeah, I know. But, I'm not set up
then
for it.
You don't ever have to worry about it. You make a mistake, you say, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. We'll try to undo it. We'll try to do better next time.
What I'm annoyed with me is that, I edited it and I didn't notice it. The time I watched it. It's only when I was about to put it up and I thought, just watch it one more. And... no, it's like bang, whack in the face. So anyway, sorry if you're looking forward. It is coming out, Combat. It is.
Part 2, it's only going to take 2 years.
It is, yeah, but it'll be bloody good.
Let's hope.
Ambush, people are comparing it to Ambush, but unlike Ambush, which is very good, and I've got a copy of that, you can replay this ad nauseum because
it changes.
It changes every time with the orders and all that sort of thing. And the sort of units you pick out the bag are all different. So, cracking game. But, I'm not very happy.
There you go.
This is on my list while I'm on break to actually play it. So I'm not going to record it because Ruff's doing that for me.
You'll probably get yours recorded before I'm finished. So,
You could probably do several missions before Rough Gets Part 2 uploaded.
Yeah.
Oh, he just picked. Okay.
Yep.
Mike,
I've been looking at those
me
too.
and wanted to know my thoughts and opinions on that game. So
Good.
So Jester, I saw you posted on Facebook like how much your YouTube channel has done this year. Was it 527 videos? Was that right, or was I thinking of the your count, your subscriber count? How many videos did you have?
I had 560 some videos as of last week. So I've already uploaded 10 videos this week, so it's probably going to be up to 570 some, which averages about 2.5 videos per day.
I know there's some days you were there doing like 4 or 5 videos. You're like, okay, play this game.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what
I
is
did
he
3 videos yesterday, all brand new games to the channel, never before played. So I'm still trying to get to 125 games this year that I've never played before. And I've got another one that I just picked up, little game that by some, designer out there. And I'm hoping to get this one to the channel here in the next couple days here. The struggle for Zorn. Poor Zorn. You heard about Zorn. Poor guys. They're always struggling. They're always attacked. They're always being attacked. You have to help them out. So we're going to help Zorn out. So I can't wait to check it out. Really cool game. But they're going to be releasing a video with kind of a Herman's going to go and do a like a little tutorial on how to play the game. So I want to wait to see that tutorial to make sure I understand all the rules and everything, and then hopefully get this game on the channel. This will be another new one.
You only got what? Today's the 16th, so you've only got about 15 more days to get as many videos as you can up there. So I'm expecting about 30 from you over the next 15 days.
At least I've got a lot of things planned. It's as I told all my guys, we have a little group that does our top 100 games of all times and everything. I emailed them. I said, look, it's December 1st. You got 30 days left. If there's anything you're going to do in 2023, you got to get it done now. So, hey, there's Herman. How you doing, Herman? How you doing, buddy?
And hopefully you like it. Yeah, by the way, Volume 3 is supposed to be Arnhem Bridge, so it's the Brits.
Oh, and I might as well say now, as you stop talking, to Marco Bricks UK has asked, do you need Volume 1 to play Volume 2? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Patrick, yes, you do.
Thanks, Patrick.
So, Patrick, you got Volume 2. You need to go get Volume 1. So, and I know, by the way, there's still a Compass sale going on right now. It goes on through like January. They don't do this a weekend thing. They do a sale for like 3 months, like the last quarter plus the first quarter. So I did finally pick up Day of Heroes. So
now that's the weird one. It's got squares instead of hexes.
Yeah, it's got squares, but it's all modern. It's basically the Black Hawk Down version of the game. So and there's some other expansions and stuff that you can use the stuff for this one in. So it's kind of interesting. So with that. So plan on seeing some Lock and Load Tactical over the next couple of weeks. I have about 4 weeks until I start back up with my master's program. And so I'm going to try to game the hell out of it. So.
What out of that particular module?
This one, I don't know. I'm not sure. I've got this one. I've got Heroes of Defiance. I've got Heroes Against the Red Star. I've got, of course, Heroes of the Bitter Harvest. So, and a lot of the expansions for those as well. So I have the.
Do you have your 10 games completed?
Oh yeah, I had my 10 games completed a long time ago.
You're free to do whatever you want now. So. You have to get those 10 games completed first.
Yeah, I already
got 2 weeks left, boys.
Jester, how many have you played on your list?
I think 2. I think 2.
I think I'm 3. Yeah.
I think 2.
So thank goodness I've beaten Jester. Otherwise, I would never have heard the last of it. So.
But it's not the end of the year yet either.
No. Yes, I won't hold my breath though.
I would if I was you. You better hope I don't get inspiration. To
You might suddenly at the last minute get a real big.
Hey, Ruff, remember how we haven't decided what we're going to play Friday yet?
Oh, you want some lock and load, do you?
Well, what I'm going to say is what is on your list so we can knock something off to make sure you have 4.
Oh, that's an idea, and I'll have done 4.
As much as you could try, I can do all 10 of my games if I wanted to. If I wanted to, I could put. If I put my effort into it, I bet you I could put all 10 games.
So you make.
I have to relook at your list. I can't remember what your list was.
Yeah,
but I'd have to look at it. I can't. Must not have written down yours. So.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to. I will.
What do you mean, call his bluff, Tony? That's not very nice.
Call my bluff. What?
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what he had for just for the idea.
I think you can do the 10.
Oh, to see if he actually could do all 10 or if they're like absolutely insane, like too long type of a list and stuff like that. So
Andrew Mike's reading the rules for number 9 now. So there's a few. There's a few of them.
Yep.
That should get past the.
Alistair says no way you get your 10 games played.
Yeah, he's
I have, here's my 10 list. I share it with you guys, and you guys tell me if you think I could do this or not. Here we go. There it is. The Hunters, 1944, The Battle of Bulge, Fields of Fire, The Russian Campaign 2023, Midway Solitaire Deluxe Edition, Labate Elingi, Panzer Grenadier, Infantry Attacks, RAF, The Battle of Britain, Second World War at Sea, and Lock and Load Tactical Vietnam.
Ooh, that's you could get about.
That's a lot of them aren't short games, are they?
Yeah, Labatai's not short.
RAF
that Bulge one
game.
You could do because that's that Worthington game version, isn't it? That's the
that's quite a quick play. Yeah.
Panzer Grenadier, if you find a nice good short scenario, if there's
less than say 128 turns, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's some that are like only 8 turns, Ralph.
I know. It was a joke on the Panzer Grenadier. You have to anyway. Why bother? I don't know.
So the Hunters, you definitely can. Which ones have you done?
Yeah, sure. You've done Panzer Grenadier, haven't you?
I think that's the one you did.
Panzer Grenadier.
Hunters.
I don't think he played.
And I did Lock and Load.
Yeah,
but I didn't do Vietnam. I changed that one. So I did this one, and I did this one. These are the 2 that I've done. REF. I mean, it's a couple-hour game. That's not bad.
Ruff spent like 2 months videoing that thing.
It's a 2-hour game. Like, seriously, it doesn't take that
Give me
long.
15 minutes. I'll have all these games done.
Yeah,
that would be a little more difficult.
He'll be like Data when he reads the rules. Flick. Right, got that? Okay, here we go. And he'll go off and play the bloody thing.
I can squeeze in no problems, and I can beat Ruff.
Speaking of your list, you have lots of games in different categories of what the topic is today.
What's the topic, Tony?
Boy, see that segue? That's professional, guys. We are getting real professional.
That was cool. We haven't been. We've been doing this a while now. So
yeah. So, topic today is tactical, operational, or strategic ? Now, I did this as a very broad topic because when I was going through, I was like, well, I know what tactical is. What's the difference between I think I know the difference between operational and strategic. So I'm wondering, I had to look it up. I actually looked it up and I was close, not quite right, but close to what it was. So what do you guys, Ruff, what would you think the difference between operational and strategic is?
There's a sort of blur, though, isn't there? Because
it is. It is. Yes.
You've got tactical, which is from one single men, like combat, and coming up into squads like Lock and Load Tactical, into platoons like Panzer Grenadier. They're all classed as tactical. up to Grand Tactical, which have slightly bigger units. I'm not sure if
generally they're companies or
there
larger,
might be companies.
Yeah.
Last 100 yards is squads, but companies and squads within that, platoons within that company, and squads within those platoons. I'm not sure. It's to do more with the unit size, isn't it? Regiment. Mind you, you get regimental games like some American Civil War games are classed as tactical because of even though they're regimental. So it's a bit of a blurry thing, you know.
Yeah, it's it. What do you think, Jester?
So I would think that it has something to do with supply and some kind of the way the units are positioned on the map. Like if there's like a front line, or if it's kind of abstractly like, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, you both of you are not wrong.
No, I think there's lots of answers.
There's lots of different ones, but what is different is so tactical rough. You're right on. Tactical is generally get granular in detail. It's
and if I may, and normally the scenarios are sort of based on history, but not an actual battle normally.
Yeah.
Because you've gone right down, you're coming right down into the detail. So there's no sort of, generally speaking, real battles. They're sort of based on what was going on at the time, and this.
Yeah, it's not a full battle. It's like a portion of the battle.
That's protect. You know, that's made up. They don't actually know. You know what a squad of men would be getting up to in detail.
So what I did was I found this great article that really cut down the two, and I'm sharing it right here. And I put, by the way, if you're interested, I put the link in the description so you can pull it up yourselves. This is the teacher and me, by the way. 4 levels of wargaming, a new scope on the hobby. Now, this was back in 2014. And I will say that quite a bit has changed since then. There are a lot of hybrids of these now, especially between operational and strategic. Okay. Tactical, we basically know, everybody kind of knows what a tactical is. A tactical game is, you know, small units, firing range, line of sights, things like that. So we all know what a tactical. When we got to the operational, one of the big things is it's a resource management game as well. So you were right about that, Jester, when you said supply.
Yeah, don't tell Kev that, because he can't stand euros. Don't tell him it's a
resource management.
Yeah, worker placement.
So basically, if you like accounting in your war games, you'll like operational. So in some ways, so this would be like OCS, where you have to pay supply for doing certain things, fueling units, motorized units, supply for combat, things like that. So that's where the operational, hence operational combat system, OCS. That's, you know, that's pretty basic on there. Now the strategic, and that's kind of in between. Yeah.
What other games are there operational, would you say?
Well, what I thought, and we'll get to it, but I thought Unconditional Surrender was more of an operational, because you're really dealing with a lot of the economics. The only difference is generally with operational, you're just dealing with economics, and kind of everything else is abstracted when it comes to like political and things like that, economics, things like that. You know, resource management is that. But this one actually says a 2 to 4 player strategic level game. Well, yes, yes, because it's the
whole thing, isn't it?
Yes, there's more. It's the whole thing, and it's, you know, in this case, it's a large area. The units are very, very large, which takes care. You're usually taking a whole country, an empire, something like that. Yes, Mike, I know logistics does not mean economics. I messed it up. Thank you very much for correcting me on that one. I realized I said economics and I meant logistics. So operational is very logistics heavy, and you really don't have a lot of the politicals. Now, like Totaler Axis Krieg, Dicenso that you have, Ruff, that would be a strategic, grand strategic.
Have you? Sorry, I'm not going up. Have you seen they brought them out together now?
Yes, it's like $500 bazillion.
Stupid money. Good grief.
And people are buying them off the shelves too.
I know. So. If you're into it, you're going to buy it, aren't you? But
well, here's the thing. you're not really getting much news. So find somebody's used copy that they're selling for like $50 now because they got the big one. So.
That's how I got Daisenso, because I think he got rid of it. The person I bought it was unpunched, and the cards were still in the cellophane. I think he was getting rid of it because either he didn't play it or he's waiting for the new one to come out. This is a year or two ago, and I got it for about 40 quid. So I was really pleased, but I've got to get it on the table. That's a strategic game. Another, what would you call Atlantic Chase? Would you call that operational? Because you're looking at the whole thing again.
Yeah, I think it would be more operational.
Yeah.
That's where it's kind of interesting. I don't think you like tactical. You can kind of tactical.
I was going to say it might even be a tactical because you're.
Yeah, but it's sort of one of those, isn't it? Because you've got the whole thing, and I know you've got single ships, which it's not fleets. So it could be more in the way of a tactical game, but as you're overseeing the whole of, all the operations, it might be called operational. You're smiling. Somebody's put something funny in the comments.
Oh, Marco, he said, "Is those an actual word?" My auto spell put it in a silly. I don't know if those is actually. Oh yeah, here it is. It says, although those games are narrative, it's generally gray area.
Are they hunters and all that? Are they tactical or are they just
narrative? Yeah. It's one of those things that I'm just like. It's like the whole "what's a war game?"
Yes,
I don't want to open that can of worms.
No, but everybody's got a different answer. I mean, well, so strategic. Would we have? Mark Herman's game, Empire of the Sun and Pacific War.
I think that would be considered a strategic game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot more politics, economics, things like that.
What about ancient civilizations of the Middle East?
I have not played that, so I cannot tell. But I would.
It's
I would
basically running a country.
Yeah, I would say it would be more strategic because you are, from what I've seen, so I could be wrong, but you are definitely building an economy. You're definitely, there's politics involved. Diplomacy is the other thing a lot of times. Strategic games, generally, it's hard to play solo because there's that diplomacy in a lot of them where you can kind of make deals and agreements with the other side, things along those. Our crunchy games tactical. Now that's a new word. So operational, strategic, tactical, and strategic. Yeah. World in Flames. That's a great strategic. That would be a great strategic game. Yes. I think pretty much so. Any game that has a political track on it, an economics track on it, a production track. I think that would really
unconditional surrender.
I just wonder what the new
unconditional surrender has all of those.
So it's a strategic game.
It's a strategic, it's definitely. But what's interesting is it's like operational is like strategic, but without some of those pieces.
Politically stuff and economic and productions and all that sort of thing. Yeah.
Command and Colors would be definitely, Ancients would be tactical.
Yeah.
I think more tactical because you're again focused on one battle, not
and
a whole area.
Specific units, and I know they're quite big units.
Yes,
but you're not zoomed out. You're not doing the whole.
Yeah. It's not the whole campaign. So generally, operational are also campaign focused and not particularly battle focused. So it's like the campaign. So I know who put it up here, Patrick. Great campaigns of the American Civil War is operational. So you're dealing with the campaigns at that time.
It's different, isn't it? When you move, you get fatigued. You're moving your army or your regiment or whatever.
Well, not regiment. It's larger units than regiment. Yeah. It's more like divisions and higher.
Divisions,
so,
yes.
Yeah. So if I'm wrong, I'll be corrected pretty quickly. So, coin is neither. It's its own category. That's what I kind of find interesting.
Although there is political, there is economic stuff in there, so you could say it's strategic.
It could be strategic. I think it would be more strategic on the line.
But then, what do I know?
You don't play coin. So
you've played coin. Don't give us that.
No, what do I know? I'm just a newbie at all this malarkey. So It's like when you move to Devon, you're not accepted as one of the locals for 25 years. Until then, you're shunned. It's a bit all air down there, you know. So
yeah, we don't get that, Ruff. I'm sorry.
No, I know you don't. But the boys from my side of the pond.
How about half of the people in the chat get it? So
yeah.
So
I hope.
Eric says he flips coins.
I didn't say I don't like the coins. It's just, is it because I'm not experienced enough playing them? But it would seem because
I would think it'd be more strategic. Imperial Romanum is a game for bookkeepers. There's quite a few strategic games that are games for bookkeepers. The one that I can think of is called Federation Empire, which is insane if you've ever seen it. At one of the cons that I went with Mitch, they were playing it, and you take so there's the Federation, there's the Romulan, so it's the whole Star Trek thing, and you pick one of those sides.
There's somebody doing a playthrough of that on YouTube. Looks bonkers. But then Space Empires 4X is a lot of, it's got a bit of bookkeeping in it. Oh, Lincolnshire,
Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire, thank you.
Lincolnshire.
What's
playing a single man on a strategic level. You're in charge. So if you're Napoleon, you're in charge of the entire, French force.
Isn't it more a role-playing game, this one?
I think so, but I have not played it, so I'm not going to.
It's not come out yet, is it? So it's
Napoleon. Yeah, I haven't played that one, so I don't know.
No, it's not out yet. It's on P500.
Oh.
Federation Empire is similar to Space 4X. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Edwards gotcha.
Does it look like Space Empires 4X? The map, smaller hexes, but it looks that sort of just a black map, with
very, very gorgeous map. Let's put it up for map of the year.
Map of the year.
It fits the flying colors maps.
Yes, and just beaten by Wing Leader.
Yeah. In strategic games, so Peter says in strategic games, you make big decisions like what fleet to send where, what country to declare war on. Tactical is more shoot and who shoots at. Yeah, I get that. Yep.
I get that. Yeah.
So, Peter, what's operational then?
Yes,
you kind of separated the two.
Yeah.
What's operational? So, good. Blood and Roses is tactical. Richard III, War of the Roses, strategic. Yeah, because you're doing the entire War of the Roses, while Blood and Roses is more of the that's the Men of Iron game, so that would be definitely more tactical because you're playing.
Yeah, I would. Even though again they're quite large units.
Well, you got to look at the tactics. So, and I think Jester, you would agree with me. The tactics, you're not small in ancient times. Like you play Lock and Load Tactical, a lot of World War II Tactical, where it's squad level. Well, have you ever seen a squad go anywhere in a battle in the ancient times?
No, it was just like 400 men here, 400 men there. Just a big.
It's different tactics back then. You just line everyone up across the battlefield and try to send your horses around the flank.
Operational is moving to the battles or delivering the beans and bullets. It's called Guns and Butter, by the way, for those the Guns and Butter, but that's an economic side.
Guns and Butter?
Guns and butter. You choose either producing guns or butter. So you choose military or you choose consumer goods. That's what our country does. So,
I think a lot of this is kind of as we evolve, we have more games that cross-reference different.
It's getting very blurry now. Isn't it?
And so now all of a sudden it's humans we like to classify things and put them in categories, but we don't really need to. Do we need to know if a game is strategic or if it's operational?
I need to know.
Is that gonna upset somebody? Like if this game says on the back of it, let's just say the Battle for Zorn, if it says a strategic fantasy game, is somebody gonna be like, oh no, I can't buy that game because it's not operational level? Is that important?
There are people there are people. We've got our preferences. I prefer tactical because I like the nitty gritty. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to play a strategic or operational game if it's good. And I've got a few here that I've got to get playing. So. But I think people, as you quite rightly say, Jester, people like to put things in boxes. They feel comfort when they put their things in boxes, and they are sort of spilling out into other boxes now, and especially when we get the sort of hybrid games and mechanics coming over from other genres of board games, and that completely we'll continue to sort of mix it up. But yeah, I like an idea what sort of game it is, so I know how to get my mind around it. So
I think I don't think there's a problem with saying it. It's just it helps us understand what games we like, and some of us can't buy everything, so it helps us understand like if it's something we would like a little bit easier to find. So it's not like it's not an end all be all if something's operational or tactical or misclassified. I think it's just a guidance on how to on what people want, how people want to play. So, I mean, I thought I used to love OCS, loved it, and then I started playing more tactical because I started opening up the rule books and finding out they're not as complicated as they're made out to be. And so I love the narrative nature. And as I was thinking about this myself, I don't ever hear anybody says, I was able to pull this supply from this one to this place to end up to starting an attack. The whole pulling of the supply, like, yes, that's important. And that in an OCS game, it's pretty cool to be able to do that. But the stories I always tell or that I hear is always more of a tactical level story. You're
not going to go, oh, no, I'm so upset I've lost a division. Oh, no, you're not. But if, like this game here, if I lose Corporal Thomas, I'm going to be well upset because he's the man of the moment with his grease gun running around killing Germans. Now, is battalion combat system.
Yeah, that's what I was going to pull this up because I wanted to keep this up. So BCS is kind of a mix of operational tactical. It's what should we call it? Top operational? I don't know. Anyways, it's a blur between tactical and operational because there is logistics, but it's not as heavy as like an OCS where you're actually counting individual beans and bullets, as Patrick would say. You're saying, okay, are they able to be in supply? Okay, they can, so they get this. And is this supply mixing with another supply? So it's there, but it's not the crux of the game. Like OCS, the crux of an attack, you have to have the supply. It was one thing that I thought was great because, hey, I can't just do everything. Well, I think BCS kind of mixes the two together and makes a really good tactical operational game. What's up, Jester? You're about to say something.
I was just going to say that there's so many games now that are crossing into different territories. Like you said, the tactical, strategic, the tactical, operational. We're going to need new classifications for games because, again, it's just you can put it in. Some people would argue, well, it's going to be a tactical game, and some people it's going to say, no, it's an operational level game because of this and that. I mean, it doesn't really matter which class it falls into because it just depends on your definition of which each category belongs in.
That's this is interesting. It kind of looks,
it does if it's a cloudy day.
I just like you're playing tactical air. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that are tactical that don't use line of sight.
Yeah.
So it's not a requirement for tactical, I don't think.
Tactical operational is optical. I like that one. Wow. So I like the fact that it's mixing. Honestly, I like that these are blending together because I think there's good points in all types of series. Although I don't want to be playing. I don't want to be counting bullets when I'm playing a tactical game so much. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. So.
John, I've had to put up with this every Saturday for God knows how long. Somebody's asking strictly finally over, Yeah, don't drop it. Yeah.
So Born to Be Wild is the same thing that you're saying, Ruff.
And then Thomas comes back with radar, but not in the First and Second World Wars.
Well, towards the Second World War, yes.
Yeah, but beginning in the First World War. So yeah.
Oh, by the way, I finally used my credit at Noble Knight, and I picked up Valor of Aces, which is the World War One game.
Now it's Aces of Valor, by the way.
Aces of Valor. Thank you. You have it, I'm assuming.
Yes, I have it.
Of course, he's got it. But I have heard, because Dave's Gaming Cave, I think, was doing a playthrough of it, and somebody was saying it's just dice chucking to the nth degree.
Oh, you got to make decisions. It is dice chucking, but it's
no. They were saying there wasn't much decision. Not Dave. The comment in the thing, and I was going, shall I? And then I've got to watch a few more, playthroughs. But yeah,
there is a lot of dice chucking because you're checking for events. But
I don't mind dice chucking. We love dice chucking.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, let's talk about Warfighter. Warfighter is a tactical game. It has no line of sight.
Yeah. Yeah, well, actually, it does,
but very abstract. Depending on
very abstract. Yep, because you can have certain terrain will block far shots.
Yeah, but you still don't have line of sight. You have blocking terrain, but you don't have line of sight. So I agree with you, but
yes, you can either see him or you can't. Yeah,
yes, exactly.
But yeah, that's
Grand strategic.
What the heck's that?
What is it?
Grand strategic. These are like those would be like a lot of those are monster games.
But no, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be. You can look at.
You know what? They talked about this in this article. Now, this article was from 9 years ago, so there's a lot of stuff.
I think Mike Butter Jelly wanted to know who wrote it. I think I was looking way back.
I put the link in there.
Maybe he's found it. Right. Okay.
Yeah. The guy's name's Crew. I don't know. But Grand strategic is when you play a strategic game in a fancy outfit.
And you do a lot. If you're playing a Napoleonic game, you do a lot of this. Do you go, forsooth? No, that's medieval. Isn't that like if you play the whole of the Eastern Front, with all, Army Group North, South, and Centre all at once? Or is Next War, that's strategic, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be strategic. Yeah,
if you play operational, and there's one chap comes in, another YouTuber who's played all the ones together. Korea,
Taiwan, India, Pakistan,
Vietnam. No, he's played the three. You can combine those, can't you? And that's huge. I would call that a grand strategic game.
Yeah, I was just going to say Patrick is on the right track. I think grand strategic games are like where you're taking the whole 4, 5, 10-year period and you're playing through that like Paths of Glory. You're playing through the World War I. You're using all the resources. I think that's like a grand strategic game.
Yeah, I don't know. So
it's strategic, grand strategic. According to the article, just go through. You can kind of intermix. No, you can intermix the two. Strategic, grand strategic. You might just assume it's grand strategic might be a little bit larger. So, but yes.
Yeah, Dangerous Dave agrees it's strategic. Paths of Glory, yeah. So, I suppose.
There's a bunch of different tracks on it that you've got to deal with on
that.
Yeah. I need to play that. I need to.
Me too. I'm going to try and use the solo. Try and use the solo.
It's a great game. It's a really good game.
It's one of your favorites, I know. So
one of my faves.
Okay,
every time I go to play it, I just it just drags me down.
It's the setup that drags you down.
Just so much. It's just so much.
Yeah, because you can't keep it set up in your location right now. So once you get out of your job and retire, and you can get a bigger place and actually keep something set up, you'll be able to like really enjoy those games again and have them like have the larger game set up and play for a little while.
It's a completely separate room. Put a padlock on so nobody can go in and dust. They think they're doing you a favor. And
keep the cats out.
Keep the bloody cat. Tell me about it. The amount of times I've come back and gone, that wasn't there earlier, and yeah, so that doesn't help with the video.
Oh wow, that's nice. After Christmas,
a bunch of us just playing Passive Glory for the day. Mad? No, that sounds like a wonderful day to me.
Not bad.
Not mad at all.
No,
not bad at all.
Another consideration, if you're moving armies around, that's slightly different between grand strategic. Cats do love counters. That is a problem.
Yep.
Buggers. It's like catnip for them. They like to fiddle with them and push them all around.
No, he's huge. Milo is huge. So when he jumps up, he just about get up on the table and he sort of just lumbers across and sits behind my monitor. And
then he's like, well, he wants the heat from your monitor is what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it's saying.
So, but
we had a cat growing up and the room would get cold.
The front door unlocked for just a few seconds.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. So now we've kind of looked at kind of what these games are. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our usual normal stuff. So Ruff's going to have his history. We're going to play Jester's Jeopardy and then stuff like that. So Jester says he's got it. So
I've got it.
Oh, he's working on his review of Halls of Hagra. Wayne. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to get beat up.
Oh, he doesn't like it. I did my playthrough. I got the prototype, and they sent me the prototype, and I've got the full game now. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? You played it, Jester, haven't you? It is a Euro. Let's face it.
This is one of the best games of 2023.
There you go.
One of the best games of 2023. Without a doubt, one of the best games. Even if you're not a Euro gamer, it's a good one.
I
highly recommend if you can get your hands on this.
Yeah.
It didn't go to retail, so unless you kickstarted it, you didn't get a copy.
Yeah, and I mean,
I think they're reprinting it and they're going to send it to retail. But so hopefully by next year you'll be able to get it. But it's definitely, you will probably see this in my top 10 games.
I enjoyed it. But it's again, it just shows you everybody's different. You know, one man's meat, another man's poison, as we used to say. But yeah, it is a Euro, but a great theme because it's a theme that I've never seen before. The Norwegians, you know, holding back the Germans. So yeah, but there you go. That's it. Oh, talking about games coming up. I know it's not war games, but let's see if I should have got it up ready.
Yes, you should have got it up.
I know, but I'm useless. Oh God!
Man, our flow was going so well.
We're a PG company here.
I'll just swing it. Tiny battle, not tiny battle. Tiny epic. Tiny epic games.
Yes,
we've got a new one out on Kickstarter. Cthulhu. Tiny epic Cthulhu.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What are you guys? I've backed it. $40
for you. But how much is it going to cost us to get it?
$40. That's what I paid.
Yeah, that's how much you paid. How much is it going to for shipping over here?
No, it's so well. Oh, they in my part of the world, are they?
I think they are.
Well, it was only $13, I think. But that's with the base game, or that's the deluxe version of the base game and an expansion and all the bits and pieces. So yeah, 40. I thought I'll have that.
Yeah, good catch. But a great thing for Tony to share with us. Thanks for ruining Tony's. Thanks for ruining Tony.
Oh, was it your one, Tony?
No.
That's right. Could have been.
I should have said yes. That was so. Dang it, Ruff, you did my job. Thanks.
Yeah, no.
You did my job for me.
Don't worry me like that. Shut it. Right.
Oh, he's offering to ship it to us free for charge. I think Ruff is offering to ship it to us.
That's pretty nice.
To us for free of charge. Hey, Ruff,
Dave.
Okay, so what I want to do is when we do our usual thing, and when we come back, I kind of want to talk about why we like the kind of the tactical, operational. What are some things we like about it? Maybe some things that we don't. Kind of mentioned a little bit. Okay. So, but let's go ahead as Ruff is drinking his water, getting him ready for the history time.
Is it that time?
I hope he has that ready.
Yeah, of course we do. Before I do, I just want to no, I've got this ready. I just want to, we talked about it earlier. He says, why can't I share that? Hold on. It's not going well. Oh, there we are. Right. I just want to share that. How's that? That coming out? No, it's not. Oh, there we are. Right. PunchedCon.
Wow.
Is happening. It's looking good, looking very professional. I think most of us in the chat who are from the part of the world here is already going. But there we are. Oh, 150 so far. I think it's only 175. So that's cool. So get your tickets for that. I just wanted to plug that because it was great fun last year. And there we go. PunchedCon. May the 10th, something like that, I think.
13th to 15th.
But it's there, isn't it? 13th to 15th. Words. There we go. So I hope to see you there because I'll be going. Let's stop the share. And then, right, off you go with the history. 16th of December.
What did the British do today?
Well, actually, you say that. 1773.
Woohoo! I know we're going to America.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. America, as you call it. America. So taxes by Britain on tea and other commodities led Samuel Adams and 150 Sons of Liberty disguised as Mohawk Indians. Yeah, so they got the blame to hold what became known as the Boston Tea Party. 342 tea chests worth £18,000, which is a lot of money, of course, in them days, were tossed off Griffin's Wharf into Boston Harbor as a protest against the Tea Act. The War of Independence had begun. Now, what's this Tea Act? The Tea Act of 1773 was an act of the Parliament of Great Britain, of course. The principal objective was to reduce the massive amount of tea held by the financially troubled British East India Company in its London warehouse and to help the struggling company survive. A related objective was to undercut the price of illegal tea smuggled into Britain's North American colonies, and this was supposed to convince the colonists to purchase company tea on which the Townsend duties were paid, thus implicitly agreeing to accept Parliament's right of taxation. Smuggled tea was a large issue for Britain and the East India Company, since approximately 86% of all the tea in America at the time was smuggled Dutch tea. So there we are. One of the reasons over tea. 1863.
And that's why we don't drink tea, is because we got out of our system after we showed up over here because we're like, we can't afford it anymore because they keep taxing it.
I know, yeah, because you kept getting the cheap.
So we tried to go to the Dutch, and the Dutch are like, here you go.
Anyway, 1863. In your part of the world again, you can't moan this time. The American Civil War. Joseph E. Johnston replaces Braxton Bragg as commander of the Confederate Army of Tennessee. Why was this? Well,
because Braxton.
Well, it was a bit of an arsehole by the sound of it. Excuse me. Sorry. It happened, I think, came to a head at the battles for Chattanooga, November 24th to the 25th, 1863. While Bragg fought with his subordinates, and they reduced his force by dispatching Longstreet to Knoxville, the besieged Union Army received a new commander, Major General Ulysses S. Grant, and significant reinforcements from Mississippi and Virginia. The battles for Chattanooga marked Bragg's final days as an army commander. His weakened left flank, previously manned by Longstreet's troops, fell on November 24th during the Battle of Lookout Mountain. The following day, in the Battle of Missionary Ridge, his primary defensive line successfully resisted an attack on the right flank. Still, the center was overwhelmed in a frontal assault by George Thomas's army. The Army of Tennessee was routed and retreated to Dalton, Georgia, and Bragg offered his resignation on November the 29th and was a little bit peeved when Davis accepted it immediately. He turned over temporary command to Hardee on December the 2nd and was replaced today in 1863 by Joseph E. Johnson, who commanded the army in the 1864 Atlanta campaign against William T. Kirk. No, Sherman. So that was 1863. 1864, American Civil War again. The Battle of Nashville. The Union Army of the Cumberland routs and destroys the Confederacy Army of Tennessee, ending its effectiveness as a combat unit. And then something concerning us, 1880, outbreak of the First Boer War between the Boer South African Republic and the British Empire started today. And just to finish off, I think, no, we've got a couple more. 1914, this is weird about us. In 1914, German warships attacked the seaside resort of Scarborough, which is in North Yorkshire, believing it to be a major British port. Oh, those daft Germans. It isn't. Hartlepool and Whitby, it was a seaside town. Hartlepool and Whitby were also targeted. It was the first successful bombing on British shores for 250 years. Over 500 shells of varying calibers were fired into Scarborough and onto the Grand Hotel, which I think was basically destroyed. The attacks resulted in a total of 592 casualties, many of them civilians, of course, of whom 137 died. There was public outrage towards the German Navy for an attack against civilians and against the Royal Navy for its failure to prevent the raid. That's 1914. And then finally, 1944. We need some more games on this because the Battle of the Bulge began in the Ardennes.
Yep.
Yeah. By the 21st of January, though, the Germans had been pushed back to their original line, having lost some 120,000 men in the offensive. That's today, 16th of December. There we go. A nice mix there, I thought. A nice mix.
A very nice mix, actually.
That's just how it comes out sometimes.
Works out quite well, actually. So, okay, Jester, what you got? Oh, wait, here. Let me share my game real quick here, for everybody to purchase. Let me get it up here. So the game I'm going to share is Tiny Epic Cthulhu.
Nice.
I did.
I'm glad you found it.
Yeah. By the way, shipping is the same to the UK and the US. It's $13 for the base plus expansion. I did check that out. So okay, I had to do that because it was just
no. I'm glad you did because it shows it's
$40 for everything, and then
great little game.
So let's see. So it's $40 for everything, and then $13 for shipping in the US and UK.
But then I think we got VAT on it.
I think the interesting thing is Ruff. We have military bases named after Confederate generals. Funny thing is,
I don't. So what? I know.
No, the funny thing is, they're all the horrible generals. Bragg was a horrible general.
Yes, he was. I tell you what made me laugh. He was at one time before the war, I think. He was an army commander and also at the same time a quartermaster. And he was a stickler for the rules. So he put in, as the commander, put in an order to the quartermaster himself, who refused it and sent it back. So Bragg sent out another one explaining why he wanted these supplies. And Bragg, the quartermaster, said, no, not having it. So Bragg contacted his superior, and the guy said, and I'm sort of paraphrasing, the guy said, Bragg, he said, not only are you arguing with everybody, you're now arguing with yourself. So he was seems a bit of a, But yeah, Bragg, I think they're renaming all the Confederate generals.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and which is, I think it's great, but I just think it's interesting that it's the they're the horrible ones.
Yeah, he wasn't a liked man.
Yeah, I do want to tell everybody that. So the available January 24, you can actually purchase this Combat Volume 1, second printing. They've had to print it again, but it's only $90 right now. It's not a bit. You can't get it right this minute, but they're going to get more shipment in of it. But it's $50 off, $49 off right now.
Yeah, that I paid basically what the dollar crossed out price is. It's not a cheap game. I'll give you, I'll warn you now, but
there's plenty of stuff.
Man on man stuff.
Yep.
With an AI that tries to creep round buildings at you, then I'd recommend it.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the volume 3. That's pretty cool. By the way,
that is standalone.
That is standalone. Yes, for volume 2, you do need volume 1, but volume 3 is standalone because it's all the Brits and stuff like that. So it'll be fun. It'll be good. But Compass still has their sale, so I'm just gonna say if you see anything that you like in Compass, now's the time to get it. So with that. Jester, do you have a game for us to guess?
I have a game. We talked about this in the green room. I've decided to go a little bit tougher today. A little bit. I'm probably going to be too easy still. Probably going to be another layup for you guys. Let's see if Patrick and his 7 guesses stays intact today.
Oh, he's in the chat too.
He's in the chat and he's all nervous. I've made it tougher.
All right, just
before they can do it, though.
Sorry, just before, I've just had, yes, it's coming in now. The like button is still out of order. Could you check it, please? Could you give it everybody in the chat, or everybody watching who's not chatting, if you're watching, if you could hit the like button, see if it's working. Only once. Don't hit it twice. Just hit it once and get Tony's likes up. That'd be fantastic.
I'd appreciate it. Just saying.
Yeah, he needs all the help he can get.
Yes, I do.
And since Dangerous Dave is here, and you never see him over on my channel, it's because I banned him on my channel. But I will say this: I got a message yesterday on the new scroll bar. It said ban people for 24 minutes, 24 hours, 24 days. You now have the option when you ban someone to let them know how long they're going to be banned for.
Well, on StreamYard?
Yes, on the StreamYard.
Right.
So, Dangerous, you might be coming back. You might be allowed back in.
Like Dangerous Dave is. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if you're good. We'll see if you behave. All right. Yeah, I got a good one here. I think I got a good one. Ruff, let's start with you, buddy.
Do I own the game? Oh.
No.
Okay.
I don't believe you do. I could be mistaken, but I don't believe you do.
That's probably close. That's probably accurate. He probably doesn't own it. So
if it's a weird one, yeah, probably not.
Tony?
Is it pre-1919?
Is it pre-1919? Yes.
Oh, blimey.
That narrows it down. You should get it now.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of thousand years in there, so yeah. Is it set before 1919? So it might be First World War. Shall I
narrow it down? Let's find out.
Well, let's say, is it set in the West? Is it set before 19th? Is it set on or before 1913?
Is it set on or before 1913? Yes.
Right. Could be anything then. It's a bloody Napoleonic game. It's a Napoleon, and I haven't got a clue about them. I should do, and it's much to my disgrace, but
okay, let's see if we're gonna does it take place in North America?
In North America, like
yes.
Is in United States, Canada,
United States, Canada, Mexico, North America.
No.
Okay.
No, it
that takes care of a lot, but adds a lot at the same time.
I mean, it could be Napoleonic or 7-Year War or something like that,
or ancients.
Patrick is still thinking. I got 3 more guesses, baby. Come on.
Shut up, Michael. So
Yeah, not rough nerded down by 6 years. Not bad.
yeah. I wanted to know if it was First World War. That's why. So is it set in mainly in Europe?
Yes. 2 guesses left, boys. That's 5 in the books. The record, Tony, the record is yours, man. The record is yours. All you have to do is guess it. All you have to do is guess it. And the record is yours.
I feel like just guessing a game.
Go on then.
Shoot, why not? Is it Command and Colors Napoleonics?
And no.
Okay. I wanted to throw a guess out there.
Well, you can tie it now, Ruff. 7. You can tie it if you.
Well, I don't know. Is it a Napoleonic game?
No.
No. Right. So we move on. It could be anything, couldn't it?
So, Patrick, congratulations. Your record is intact for another
breathe
week.
easy now.
Breathe easy now. All right. We're on to
Everybody's getting a bit cheeky and having a pop at Ruff tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Your guess, Tony.
I know. No, it's not ACW because it doesn't take place in North America. It takes place in Europe.
Is it Tiny Epic Cthulhu? As Doug says.
Does it? So it's on Europe. So
it's Europe, but it's not Napoleonic.
Yeah. Is it would it be considered an ancient game or like? Let me narrow that down because that's just way too broad.
Yeah. Narrow it down to about 13 years. You know.
Is it a Roman game? Is it a game that Rome is?
No, it's not a Roman game.
Okay. He said it wasn't going to be an easy one.
Yeah.
So.
I said it was going to be a little more difficult. I still think it's a layup. You just asked really bad questions.
Yeah. I'm feeling a bit down today, but yeah.
The 72 Dolphins continue. There you go, Patrick. He's still my man. I still love him.
No, Men of Iron is I own that, and Jester knows that. So
Jester knows what?
I own Men of Iron. So, and I said
I do know you own Men of Iron.
Said no.
I know. I don't think you own this game. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you've never talked about this game ever.
Well, that doesn't help if we've never talked.
If I don't talk about it, I've got a clue. It's set in Europe, yeah, and is it set? Is it set after the 1500s?
No, it's not set before after the 1500s.
Yeah,
no.
So there we go. It's going back a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it a GMT game?
Is it a GMT game? No, it is not a GMT game.
Gold, we're doing crap this time. We're never going to hear the last of this tone.
Somebody keeping track of how many guesses they've got so far?
We're about 5, I think.
Yeah, only 5 guesses. We're only counting every other guess.
I think that was like 8 or died or dead so far, but go ahead. Go ahead. You got this. Come on.
Is it? No, it's not the GMT, so it's not that, and it's not Banish the Slivery things because he knows I've got that. We've all got that. No, Levy and Campaign, that's GMT, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not that. Oh, blimey. Is it a DVG game?
It is not a DVG game.
Field Commander Alexander, then.
War of the Roses, that's a DVD game. Is it a I'm gonna go with game manufacturer. Is it a Compass game?
No, it is not a Compass game.
Damn. I'm like clueless this time. Like literally absolutely clueless.
Wow. Wow, I found a weak spot for you.
Yeah,
guys.
you have. Is it produced by an American company?
I believe so. Yes, I believe they're an American company.
Because things like Hexasim and what's the Italian?
VUCA. No, well, VUCA,
No,
but
VUCA hasn't done any.
Novo.
That's the one. Yeah, those sort of things.
Does it take place on the British Isles, the island of Britain?
Yes,
Only.
it does take place in the British Isles. Yes.
I'm.
So, is it that one? That's why I asked if it was because they're not American company, are they?
Yeah, they are. Academy Games is American.
No, I don't think
It's like
Academy
literally
Games.
they're like an hour away from me.
Who was that other Viking one that people were bemoaning that the rules were wrong and
that was like Invasion or whatever.
Invasion? Yeah, Vikings.
Yeah. I mean, this is not really that hard a game. So
it is if it's of no interest to you.
Sorry, it's been very, very surprising that it's really taken that long.
Yeah, but you're thinking twice if it's an American company, so it's not going to be MMP or GMT.
MMP is an American company.
Yeah, but it's not going to be that. Then he said
it is American.
Well, it is American, but it would have known definitely it's an American company, MMP, without looking and go, oh, hold on.
You do have a point.
So it's set on the British Isles. Are Vikings involved?
Are Vikings involved?
Yeah.
No, Vikings are not involved. As far as I know, no Vikings have been hurt. No Vikings have been hurt during the process of this game. So.
Okay, that's nice to know. No, it's GMT. What else? Yes, there's.
I've got a few in mind here. Is it Richard III by Columbia Games?
It is not Richard III by Columbia Games.
Is it a Columbia? Who makes that? Hammer of Scots.
That same company
as
Richard III, the one that I just said.
Is it a Columbus game? Do you think, or
Columbia
game? Yeah, they're all blocks, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is it anything to do with 1066?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with 1066.
Right.
That's 1066 Hastings, so that's the Battle of Hastings.
Battle of Hastings, yeah.
Is it a Columbia game? Is it a Columbia game?
It is a Columbia game, as a matter of fact.
Hammer of the Scots?
Is it Hammer of the Scots? Is that a guess, or is that just
no? It's Tony. Is it my go?
Yeah, it's your go.
Yeah, Hammer of the Scots. Because I haven't got a clue about Columbia games. What they're called?
Yes, Hammer on the Scots.
Great.
See, you've actually heard of these games, so
I have. I was like, I kept as soon as we got down to the British Isles, I was like, I wonder if it's a Columbia game.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with them. You see, so.
But
it's still not American.
I think they're right about that. Oh, jeez. You just offended every single Canadian out there.
Well, no, they're very much like Americans, except they don't have guns.
Well, when I clicked on it, it didn't say whether they were or not, so I didn't.
Oh, it's Mike says it's a hybrid Canadian-U.S. company, so yeah, that would make sense. So, they're in Washington, so yep.
Yeah, again, not saying they're no good, but it's just somebody that's not come under my radar before. So
this is this game I think would fall on your radar if you played it. It's an excellent game. It's actually rated really high, I believe.
Yeah.
It is number 58 best war game of all time. So this is not like an obscure game that I could have get. This is, like I said, even though I say it's harder, right? It's just because this game we haven't talked. Obviously, we haven't talked about this game. We don't talk about the game company very often, stuff. But this game is still mainstream for war gamers.
Sure, but it's not for me because it's a block game and you can't play those solo.
It's
you can absolutely play it solo.
It's also on Rally the Troops, which Rally the Troops does all the keeps all the rules and plays all the rules. So when you play it on Rally the Troops, it actually plays.
Right. Rules. So I might have to do that then. But I can't play it. If I got it, I couldn't play it. Because it's all blocked.
You can play solo. It's just instead of you're going to play with the blocks faced up instead of
instead of back. Yeah, but that's what ruins
the fog of war is kind of what's fun about the Columbia games at times.
Yeah, it's fog of war, which make what's this over here and finding out what you've got against.
Well, I think what's interesting is Kev actually did a block game like that, and he actually got up physically and walked around the table. So, like when you're sitting there facing, unless you remember exactly what's what. It's a different view, and you can't.
I suppose that could work because I'd go out and put the kettle on and forget what day of the week it is. So,
yeah, exactly.
It could work. It could work.
Yeah. So, no, but Columbia does a really good job with their games. I have 3 of them. I have Richard III, or 2 of them. I have Richard III, and I have the War of 1812, which is interesting.
So we'll just forget about that and move on then.
And I have this one, Wizard.
They're Wizards and Kings game. Yep.
Yeah, this is their fantasy version of it, and it's really interesting. It's each unit's rated with A, B, C, D, E, maybe I think, and then like you start with A's, and then there's A1, A2, A3, A4. So like some of your units will fire before other units, and so when everyone meets, then you have to sort out and figure out who's going to attack first, and so you. Like one of your units might fire, and then 3 of mine might fire, and then 1 of yours, So it's not like a back and forth type thing.
Okay, so it could vary and everything like that.
It definitely varies, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose just play the best for each side.
In fact, you can see that on the sheet here.
Okay.
You can see so this unit's rated as B2. So
okay, gotcha. Yeah,
would fire before Frazier. And then Frazier would fire, let's see, before, say, McDonald, who's a C3. So it starts at A's and goes A, all the A's fire, and then all the B's fire, and then all the C's fire. So, and then each one of these has a certain number of steps. So you can see, like, the king has 4 steps. So every time he takes a hit, you're going to rotate the block one step.
I see. That's got the steps on the outside.
So there's 4 steps or 3 steps or for each of the different units, and usually like a 6 is a success on an attack roll. So yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely worth checking it out and looking because I think it's a interesting system if you haven't played it.
Oh, here we go. So I just pulled up Rally the Troops. So these are the games that are on there. So if you notice, there's quite a few Columbia games. You have Crusader Rex. By the way, Indian Abyss is on here.
Ooh.
Hammer the Scots, Julius Caesar, Nevsky. Oh, they have PAX Premier. Cool. Richard III, which I have. Rommel in the Desert. They have the Shores of Tripoli. They have Wilderness War, Mark Herman's Waterloo Campaign 1815, and Time of Crisis. And I know they keep adding more of that.
Yeah.
The steps is dice and the number that you need to hit. Oh, yeah, the number you need
to
hit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Helen's uses the same system. Hellenes uses so there. I mean, this the idea of the different systems and everything like that.
You sure that second one is not supposed to be Algeria or Algiers? Which one is it?
Okay. I knew that coming. I knew that was coming sooner or later.
That's your Rommel. That is.
Yeah. I saw Rommel in the desert. Did I say anything? No. I didn't. I let it go.
That's a different Rommel, so you can't say that because that's a different Rommel game. So By the way, Doug asks, are there any thoughts on Crowbar? Buy it, get it, play it. It's awesome.
I've got a playthrough on my channel. Not a complete playthrough, but it gets you
I
the
don't think
idea.
I did do a playthrough on the channel. I need to, but I've played it. It's really good.
It's just a bonkers game. It's good fun.
Yeah, so
I don't know it. Never played it.
It's by the way, it's a Herman Loopman game. So
him again. Oh dear.
Yeah. I swear, he's like a bag. He just grabs on our coattails and runs away and thinks, gets all his sales off of us and uses us.
That's all it is. If it wasn't for us and all the sales we were making, he would have left us a long time ago.
They're all going on holiday because of all the sales.
Are you kidding me? He's buying a new house. He's moving into a new house.
Well, and Thomas said that we gave him all those sales. Yes, last week he credited us for all the sales and everything.
Blimey. No, that's it. But then again, people buy it because on its own merits, really.
Oh yeah,
if it was rubbish, nobody would buy it because word would get round.
So getting back to the topic, so we had our little break here. So we have our tactical, operational, strategic, and kind of curious on what you guys. I think everybody kind of knows where I'm at, and I've kind of talked about it. So if you had to rank how you would prefer to play it, what would you say, Jester? What would you say if you did a 3-2-1, 1-2-3, 1 being the top? What would you have? How would you have it?
Up until like 2 years ago, I would have said for sure number 1 was tactical, number 2 was strategic, and number 3 was operational. But the older I get, the more things change, and the more I realize that I just hate playing tactical solo level games. I just cannot do it. My brain just is too brilliant, and it's just too hard for me to try and outfox myself with a tactical game. So I'm going to rank them, and this is kind of the one thing I would say about tactical level games is because there is so much strategy involved in what you're doing with your different units, you can't unthink of that when you play the other side, right?
When you play like two-handed, when you
play two-handed, you can't unthink. Well, if I do this and I move these units up, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can move to the building, and then I can get in that building and I can take over that objective. And you know all this when you play the other side. So I'm going to say number 1 for me is strategic. Number 2 is going to be operational, and number 3 is going to be tactical. And even though I own 25 tactical games and I love tactical games, I'm going to rank them my lowest, which is going to be a complete shock to many people out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the oddball again.
I get you. Even with, like, say, for combat, which is a solitaire game and it has a bot, you can game it because the orders, you put your orders on your Americans, what you're going to do, and then you randomly pick. Thanks, Alistair, taking it seriously as per normal. You then randomly pick the orders for the Germans, but you can see if you're moving, you think, when they get activated, they're going to move over there. So I'm going to move here. So there is a little bit of gaminess to it, but solitaire tactical, I get what you're saying when you're playing two-handed, but things like this and Lock and Load Tactical now will be coming out with its own solitaire deck. So maybe try them out. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
It's just a lot of extra work just to play those to play the tactical games and running the AI bots and doing all that extra stuff that I mean, a lot of people can do it two-handed, play both sides, and that's great if you can do that. I just can't. I even have problems playing strategic, and I talked a little bit about it earlier when I play Paths of Glory, and I know what's in one hand of cards, and then I know what's in the other hand of cards, so I can't unknow I know that you can play this card, so why would I do this attack if I know you can play a card that'll shoot me? So I love Combat Commander. Absolutely one of my favorite games of all time. It's just I can't play it because I know what card you have. You don't have a fire card? Then I can move my units up and I don't have to worry about you.
Yeah.
If you were to play, like, would you rate him differently if you had access to in person, like face to face, more face to face gaming?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love tactical better. I think it's a better all around game system.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just can't get over the
yeah. So solo wise, it totally flips depending if you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it does, and I don't think a lot of people will. I mean, maybe we need a solo list and then we need a multiplayer list. Would you guys rate them both the same if you're playing solo and multiplayer?
Weirdly, we had this discussion on Friday, and Born to be Wild, yes, that Academy Games solo deck was adapted by Lock and Load Tactical.
A lot of games have done that, by the way, nowadays.
We had this discussion. I'm much preferring playing Last 100 Yards to, with an opponent, with Tony, because, you've got the hidden units, you've got this, and then you're playing. I will play it solo, but it will lose something again playing both sides, and I can't do. You can work around hidden units and all that sort of thing, but yeah, some games are much better played to with an opponent. Very funny, and I think Last 100 Yards is one of them.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably with you, Jester, that I would rate him different solo than with face to face. For sure. I do think operational and strategic, if you solo those, particularly operational, you can actually do a lot of more operational because of the logistics and the supply and stuff, because you can't always guarantee you'll have supply some places, and so it kind of puts it off. Somebody wrote it here. A lot of times the operational or strategic have chip pools.
Yeah, they are great.
That make it a little bit.
That only fixes part of the issue. The other issue you normally run into when you're playing tactical level games, which is usually based upon real life time, is when you're doing something, the enemy can usually react to that. So it can either opportunity fire, or it can move, or it can do something while you're doing your movement. And when you're talking about a strategic level game, you don't have your opponent. You don't have to worry about your opponent saying, "Oh, you're going to move this unit up here, then I'm going to react to that and do these things." So while the solo AI systems do take care of part of the problem, the other problem is, which they don't take care of, is what does your opponent do while you're moving all your units or firing your units or doing things?
And I think that's where GTS actually takes that out of your hands. You know what I'm
saying? Correct.
So
it does a great job of simulating that by roll a dice to see whether they have opportunity to shoot at you.
And they can shoot at you they have an opportunity to fire at you every time you're in the fire zone. So every time you're in range. So you roll every time, no matter what. So yes, they fire. No, they don't. Yes, they do. No, they don't. So like you could actually literally op fire on a unit 3 hexes in a row, or possibly not, depending on what you roll. So I think we've talked about that in the past, that's one of the things they did a great job with that. And that's, of course, Grand Tactical, not to confuse that with Grand Strategic or Grand Operational.
But that's what I like about, say, like Last 100 Yards, because I do something, you react. I have to physically say, are you reacting to that?
Yes.
And you go, no.
Once you move all your units, are you reacting? No. And then I can't.
No, you activate one platoon, and then you move them, and then are you reacting? No. Right, I'll activate Monday. That's what I like about it. And Lock and Load Tactical's like that as well, isn't it? There is it's not I go, you go.
Yeah.
Which you get in strategic and operational games. That they tend to be I go, you go type of games.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Usually it's I at least activate some units and do some things with them, and then you can react by next time your chit comes out of the cup or whatever. Yeah.
Or even not a chip pull. It's if I'm going, right, you sit there and make a cup of tea, and then you have a go. So they tend to be more like that. Whereas tactical, a lot of them are impulse or reaction based games.
That last 100 yards seems to be very reactionary. Yeah. Like you can react, and then when you react, then your opponent can react to your reaction. And
yes, if you haven't activated a unit and they can see the reaction of the reaction, then they can react. So if they can see, so you
The
can
good thing with
literally
that is,
activate. You activate one platoon, it moves, and then all of a sudden, everybody else activates. Well, once you reactivate, then other reactivates, and then other units that saw that reactivate, those reactions can then activate to those reactions, and it's a daisy chain. But that's really, I think, what I like about the game. It's really different. So,
and also, but you say, because you reacted, you can't fire on me now. I'm going to move these, and you can't fire them because you're firing on them.
Yeah,
and you don't work that out until the end of the activation period. So it's really quite weird. But yeah, but
trying to do that solo would be extremely difficult, I would think.
You've got
I have not tried it, so I don't know.
I'm just, what you're saying.
I'm just thinking, because you're going to be making a lot of decisions on, I'm moving this guy. Okay, so now I got to see, can the enemy react? Yes, the enemy can react. Now, does the enemy want to shoot? Now I have to think, well, if I shoot, then this can happen. Well, if I force him to shoot, then I can move these units up because he won't be able to shoot anymore. So you can become very gamey that way.
You can't help but be a little biased, even in the best will in the world, and I know that as a fact, especially if you're playing the Brits and the other ones are the Germans. You're going to be a little bit, but you can't help it. It's a natural thing. But that's why I like that game played opposed, because you're then thinking, now will he react to this if or I want him to react to this so I can move these other guys safely round that way, so yeah. But for me, I love the tactical. I love you get the narration with a tactical game, and I love that regardless of whatever it is. And when you lose units or squads or platoons even or individual men,
you play ATS, Tony, but you don't play that solo. You play that with people, right?
Yeah. I've got to the point where I won't play it solo because it's just not as fun.
It's just not as
it's not as
interesting.
And I'm starting to get to the point where when I play solo, I play games designed solo now, like solo games, or they have a legit solo bot to it. Because I've gotten to the point where one is, I'm playing with Ruff, I'm playing with Mitch, I'm playing with Camp, I'm playing with you, we're playing a 4, it's just one of those things that I've got to the point now where I'm like, if I want to learn the game or play the game or try out a scenario before to see what would happen, I could do that. But I don't think I would actually sit down and say, oh, I'm going to play this one solo, especially not tactical. Strategic or operational, maybe, because it's a little bit more farther out. So it's not as, like I think doing like a standard combat system, the SCS system, I think is kind of that perfect level for soloing, because there's no hidden movement, there's no reaction. Like you said, there's no opportunity fire. It's I move all my stuff and then fire at you, and then you move all your stuff. So you can, even though you can think ahead with the other side, but that, depending on how the combat goes,
doing things,
it's much easier because you're going to, you want to move these units up, and the other side is going to have to defend, so that's going to happen. So it's much more solo friendly because there's no reaction between you moving them. Oh, hold on a minute, I want to do my fire.
You played Panzer solo. How did that play solo?
Well, they've got solo rules for it. It's a great big chunk, and Camp Sawyer's played that, and he's actually adapted the non-solo scenarios to play solo. But I got round it. The only main thing is the orders, if you like, what you're going to do with the two sides' tanks. And when you play it opposed, they're done in secret, and you put them face down on your tanks. What you're going to do, you're going to move or you're going to fire, whatever. The way I got round that was to roll a die, and so whoever won had got slightly better. See, Patrick, whoever won that got slightly better sort of intelligence of what their enemy was doing. So they got to place their orders first, and then the other one could react, if you like, to it what the other person's done, but they place them first. The one that lost places them first because the other side has got the intelligence to know what this side's doing, and they can react to it in a better way. So it was a dice roll, and that seemed to work quite well with Panzer, and that plays very well because again, you're moving your tanks, then the other side's moving their tanks, or they're firing, and then the other side fire. So it's not so unless something's on Overwatch, then and they come into view, then they can fire. That's the only problem. But yeah, that game is house ruled. But I've yet to play the solo thing, so one day we'll do that.
Yeah, it's. I think for me the biggest when it comes to tactical and solo, and because I love tactical, I agree. It's got, to me, it's the narrative part of the tactical that
it's
I really
personal,
love.
isn't it? It's personal.
Yeah. There's a story.
Yeah.
You talk, and I always tell this story about when me and Mitch were playing ATS. He threw a satchel charge at me. A member of my squad caught the satchel charge, threw it back at him, and damaged him instead of the squad satchel charge going on me. That story, since it's so granularized down to a single satchel charge, you're not going to get stuff like that out of the operationals. Now, you do have good stories where you're talking about, hey, I had this division move around and pincer.
And I threw a 6. Yeah, but you're more likely to remember your story. You're never going to forget that. That was like, wow. Yeah. We called it, threw it back, and it blew up in his face. And whereas I saved a division because I threw a 3. It was a really good throw. And you're not gonna remember. It's not personal. Not belittling those games. I enjoy
and again, I like playing them all, but in different situations.
Yeah. You're quite right. I mean, I've played a bit of
operation. It just depends on, like, if me and Tony can get together, or me and Ruff, or me and somebody. I always have like a group of games that I would like to play, and then if I don't have somebody to play with, I have a different list of games to play with.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're now really putting a lot of the solo systems and stuff like that in. Like, the one problem with the tactical that I always had trouble was setting up the enemy. Like, I like, so the new solo system that comes with the lock and load tactical, they have random setups for, like, they go through and say, okay, well, where would the best setups be? Mm-hmm. And, they group them for you. So they group the units for you already for whatever side you're not.
Yeah, that's the other part is setup is you're setting up the defenders, right? And then you're thinking to yourself, oh, there's an alley here. I'm going to have to put a guy here, but if I put a guy here, then it's going to leave this alley open, right? This. So when you go to set up the attackers, you remember, well, there's an alley. I might as well try to exploit that. So it's so hard to not. It's so, if you guys can do it, God bless you. I mean, good Lord. But for me, it's like, I cannot forget what I just learned. Oh my God, he is super weak on the left. I am going to just blitz him on the left. I just cannot remember, and I just can't get myself to say, no, don't do that because that's hidden information. Like, no, I know this. I can't unlearn it.
Yeah, but that's why most solitaire based or have a solitaire thing going is. The attacker, as the real person, set up first, and then the bot sets up. So you are set in where you've set up your men, and then the defenders, for better or worse, are set up. And you think, oh, lovely, he's going to come straight at me. I can get him. But in another setup, they might be behind rocks or something. And I've got. Not in this one, but I've played it before. There was one guy coming down, and my guys were moving forward, and he was moving down and threatening to get off the board and get some victory points. So I had to sort of stop what I was doing there and try and take care of that German that was trying to sneak past our lines. So it can work, and it is difficult when there isn't a bot. You've got to think what is the best way to set up. But if you're playing, set up your side first, and then set up the bot side second, and it's also easier if in some games that if you're playing the attacker and the pretend person is the defender, because you know what they're going to do. They're just going to stay there and defend, and it's your job to try and clear them out. So that is one way round games that don't have a solo bot is not to play the defender, because they're not going to do much. They're just going to stay there and defend, and you can try and get them out. So there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's easy to solo tactical or so if you're the attacker, because you can set up defensive positions a lot easier, and so it makes it a little bit easier to play the attacker.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to do. Defend. They're not going to come out and rush you or whatever. You know, it's they've got to hold that position.
Yeah. Now, so we've talked about tactical now for like 20 minutes, and like
you, it's my favorite.
And Jester, I know you love it, but you only love it when you're facing somebody. I'm getting to that point, but I'll tell you what, combat does a pretty good job. There's the lock and load, the bitter harvest system does a pretty good job at that. So, so ASL solo has a good random setup. That's by the way, it's the same idea Lock and Load has, but they've tweaked it just a little bit, just so you know. But good luck finding that until it gets reprinted.
Yeah,
and not paying an arm and a leg for it.
I did hear not so good things about it, but then I suspect it's just horses for courses.
Yeah. Well, I know they're reprinting it and modifying it, so I think they're making it better. But like, so for operational, so the one that I think the most operational is the OCS. I was trying to think of, okay, now what's just an operational game? And OCS is the only thing that keeps coming to mind.
Well,
so maybe those in the chat can kind of help me out with it.
Well, the VUCA games, you've got Traces of War, you've got all the Crossing the Line.
What about the Levy and Tactics series?
Levy and Campaign? Oh,
Levy
yeah, okay.
Campaign.
Yeah, somebody had mentioned that earlier. I was going to say that is definitely operational, because there's a strong resource management part or a logistics part of that game. I mean, that's the whole campaign part is the logistics part. So definitely, I would say that's definitely a more of a, after playing one game, so I can't say 100%, but I would definitely fit that in the operational things. And Tim does say games that are more operational have definite objectives and are easier.
Yeah.
So it's like with tactical, they're like, oh, you got to take these buildings, or you have to, have a
get up that hill or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
it's like with that. Mike does say 40 series, the Simonich series. Yeah, I would say so. It doesn't. The only thing is when I think the resource wise, I don't feel like it's
the thing is normally operational games have an HQ or something that you can't go.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Or you've got supply lines that you can trace back to an edge of the map or something.
Mm-hmm.
The Simonich ones, I don't think do they? They don't have any sort of.
They have HQs for sure, but because they actually can do it. But yeah, there's some about it. For the logistic part of it, I don't see it. BCS, I would say, is more operational than tactical, but definitely has some tactical features in it.
It's a sort of hybrid-y game, isn't it?
Yeah. While the 40 series, I would say, is more of a strategic than an operational. My personal opinion, and of course, we all know what opinions are.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, strategic games, they're like, I look at half of my
Twilight Struggle, that would be more operational, wouldn't it?
What?
Twilight Struggle?
Ooh, well, somebody's operational. I don't think it'd be. I think it'd be more strategic.
I would call the 40X games operational rather than strategic. There's no political or resource management in it.
Yeah, I call it. I'm going to grab one and see if it says on the box what it categorizes itself as. Because again, we've got to remember that, sorry. So let's see here. It's a division level game. Doesn't even say like. So this is Stalingrad 42.
I'd call them. Well, what do I know?
And
But
it's
I
still in the string
operational.
for some reason. And it's still in the shrink for some reason.
Yep.
Is that in the shrink?
Yep.
Jaw drop.
I do know that you can be cut off from supply. I do know that with these games.
I'd call that operational because if you've got to be in supply, there aren't the sort of political or economic or production values that you get. I assume you get all that. I haven't looked yet. I assume you get that in Piles of Glory. There must be sort of production, economic things coming into play, Jester.
There's only like when new countries enter the war, but besides that, no, there's not really like political points or anything like that.
But it's a strategic because it's the whole of Europe sort of thing, I suppose.
I think so. Yeah.
It is. It's foggy.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah, I would say, Mike. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not zoomed out enough to be a strategic.
Yeah, because that's usually more of because it's like this is Stalingrad 42, so it's more.
It's okay. It's a big map, but it's
still small.
It's not the rest of Russia
compared to the rest of the East Front. Even like this is only a small portion of the East Front.
Yeah. Unlike things like as I mentioned before, Empire of the Sun, which is the whole of
the whole of the Pacific War. Yeah.
Then what would you call Silent War, which is a solo sub game which takes in the whole.
I think that's still strategic. I think that.
Well, I would say strategic. I would say strategic.
Okay. I agree. The 40 series is operational. I'm not going to deny that anymore. Okay, we can let that one go. I was wrong.
No, nobody's wrong. Nobody's wrong.
I'm unattractive. You guys are attractive. I'm stupid. You're just.
Well, yeah. It's nobody's wrong. But
I would definitely. That's the problem with. That was the one thing that as I was preparing for this topic, I was like. As I'm listing off this stuff, I'm like, well, that's subjective. Like what they're qualifying for certain things are very suggestive. Like they said, strategic is you command nations, coalitions, and empires. Well, in Stalingrad 42, you're controlling the Germans or the Soviets. You're controlling a nation or a country. So it's that a large area. Well, what's considered a large area?
It's a big map.
Right.
That's a pretty large area.
Yeah.
Space empires. It's got a pretty big map.
So with Silent War, do you play as one sub or are you a group of
You are in control of the whole of the Pacific submarine fleet, but each one is a separate sub.
Okay, so you send out separate subs.
You send out subs and things, yeah.
But by the way, that's part of the Noble Knight order that's coming on Monday.
Yeah, I hope you.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah.
2 or the first one?
The two. Yeah. I wasn't going to do the with that. So yeah, I wasn't going to do that.
I mean, the Silent War 1 you can get for like $40.
Yeah, and then
it's
you
like
have
half the price for that. I'm like, wow, I don't know if I can justify buying the.
The thing is, they've changed the rules. They've changed some of the stuff. They've changed some of the subs. Some of the.
It also included the IGN expansion. IJN. Sorry, I didn't.
IJN, yeah. Which you might as well use because you pick out the actual named ships.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
instead of thinking just a Jerry ship, you think a
known ship. Well, even though there's some Jerry subs in it, and but no, instead of if you pick a destroyer. Pick a destroyer. You then go to the destroyer IGN pot and pick one out, and it's that actual. You take that one away and put it back and put that in its place. And if you destroy it, it's removed from the game forever until you play it again. But so it just names the ships. You tend to get a better tonnage as well when you pick like a merchant or something. Not so much a merchant, an auxiliary ship like an oiler or a troop transporter or something. You tend to get a bigger tonnage, and also some have aircraft on them, so that's does give you a little bit.
I don't know. I still don't know if I can justify. Like I said, I can get version 1 for $30.
I ended up
I wouldn't.
It was like $70 when I paid at Noble Knight for the one I got at Noble Knight. So I got that. I got the Aces of Valor, and then I got Go for Broke 3, which is the Panzer Grenadier. It's the American Japanese troops in Europe module.
Oh, interesting.
So the one thing I love about Panzer Grenadier is they
do it all, don't they? They do it all.
Yes, is that stuff. So
now, is Mr. President tactical, operational, strategic?
Strategic.
I'd have to agree. Yeah.
Strategic all the way.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
You're in control of that. You are the man or the woman in control.
Well, you can have operational even on multiple fronts. I don't disagree with that. And like Tim says, semi-strategic is also a thing.
I know.
So the article I found was written 9 years ago. The amount of development in different games between 2014 and today, 2023, is insane.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how much has changed. And I know Herman Lubin, he talks about this as a design, looking at other game systems, not particularly in war games, which it's interesting because now we're seeing Euros and other of those use war game tactics into the games, putting into the Euros and stuff. They're using, so we're seeing a hodgepodge of everything now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And Dater Stave is going to go Sushi Go party, so he's going to play some Sushi Go. That's a tactical level right there. Make sure you get all your sushi lined up. Make sure you get all your rolls and everything.
Oh, God. What about the one we were talking about the other with Mike on Friday, the new game, the tactical game that is
Firefight Tactical or Fire?
It's dice building, a dice building game.
It's a dice building mechanic, yes.
Yeah, which is from the other side.
Yes.
From the dark side.
The other side.
From the dark side. Uh-oh.
Yes.
What were they thinking?
So there you go. You know, it's
and that was the whole point. It has supply in it. Yes, Sushio does have supply in it. I love our chat. They're great.
Yeah, I've got to put up with him for 4 days in May. So you know.
At least your side of the pond one. So
yeah.
Let's see here. What is that? It's. I know Mike's in here. He'll put it up here sooner or later if I can't think of it.
What's that? The tactical game?
The Firefight, the new tactical game.
P500-y thing.
Yeah, I was looking it up, but I can't find it right now. So.
Undaunted. Somebody's asking about Undaunted. Isn't that a tactical? Is it tactical?
Yeah, that'd be more tactical. Yeah, Firefight Tactical is the name of the game. It's a dice-driven tactical World War II squad level game.
Dice building, what's name?
Yep. So
interesting. Well, if you want to know what I'm planning on playing.
Well, yeah. Well, let's see. Well, geez, oh my God, it's
Whiz Past.
Yep. So, Christmas Eve and Monopoly Tactical depends on who you're playing.
Yeah, and what the outcome is. Yeah.
Yeah. Firefight Tactical. Thanks, Mike. I found that. I actually said
way too late, Mike. Way too late.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. He used to be on top of things, and it's just not. I think the old age is catching up to him. He's just not as good as he was back a couple years ago.
Well, I suppose that's a good analogy. Yeah.
That is a great analogy.
And as a convert to baseball, I actually understand that.
Yes. Yep.
Wow, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He's a very smart guy.
So, what would you classify? Would you class Root and Undaunted Stalingrad? Root would be strategic, because there's different. Trust me, it's strategic. And Undaunted Stalingrad would be tactical.
Tactical, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played Undaunted Stalingrad, but the
no.
Undaunted Normandy, I believe it's the same system. So,
but looking at
what do you have planned to play, Mr. Jester, coming up?
I am going to be playing. Well, Tuesday night we're going to be playing Twilight Inscription, which is I don't know if you're familiar with this one or not. Let's see if I can get the box out here to remind you, in case you're interested. It's a roll and write from the Twilight Imperium universe.
Oh,
okay.
Right. Yes.
So we're going to be doing that on Tuesday night. Me and Phoenix Knight over on my channel. So thanks to him, we're going through our learn and play games. He knows how to play this game. I don't, because I've never played it. So he's going to teach me. So come on over on Tuesday if you want to learn how to play. It's kind of an interesting little roll and write. I'm finding these games to be very interesting games.
The roll and writes are
tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to be playing the Hunters. I'm going to be playing Fields of Fire, and I'm going to be playing.
We've got him worked up, haven't we? Got him worked up.
There's one thing I've learned.
RAF. I'm going to get 3 more games on my list because I'm not letting Ruff beat me. I'm not letting him beat me this year.
That's the one thing I've learned, Jester. We've been around for 4 years now. Is get something up your get you something riled you up, and you're going to do it. So
that's right. Tonight, Hunters tonight on the channel for sure.
Okay, well, I will call you out on that one. So if it is so, but we'll see how that goes. Yep. So
yeah, good luck with it. Yeah.
So yeah, no, that'll be good. I love watching the Hunters. I love people rolling for the Hunters because you can feel the tense when they're about ready to roll for
it's
like
horrible.
You can actually feel it through the TV through the monitor, and you're like, I know what that feels like because I've rolled that 13 on an airplane attack.
And when I did my playthrough of it, that sent the boys off to sunny Mediterranean, off the Spanish coast, and what was that? And that's it. They thought they'd be sunning themselves on deck and got sunk.
So Ruff, you did finish filming that combat and you're just editing, or do you have to finish filming it again?
I have to film. I've done an hour of it, and it's going to probably be another half an hour. I've got another couple of impulses to do, one of which is not a lot happening because some of the stuff only happens every other impulse. So hopefully get that out. I hope so I can get it going, because I've got another 5 turns to do, so I've got to crack on because there's so much I want to get on the channel. But yeah, I have a limited time, and because I edit with OCD, it takes a time.
Well, this time it helped you though.
Yes, checking it because the grief I would have got,
Oh yeah,
so yeah, so we're getting there. Won't be able to do it tomorrow, but crack on with it Monday morning. Because I'm not teaching until the evening, so that would be all right to do a bit then. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. Might try and do an unboxing of a quick one of the Russian front, because to let people know that I know you need volumes 1 and 2, but you need. No, I've got a special place here, David. Nobody goes near that. So
except the cat.
Except the bloody cat. So. The Russian front, it's got the new rule book, which is the updated rule book for volumes 1 and 2.
Yep, I've already annotated the hell out of it. It's got notes all over it.
And the player aids evidently have been updated as well. Yep. So anyway, I don't know how I feel about that. And then maybe Western Front Ace do an unboxing just to show the amount of tons of stuff in it. But yeah.
Next week's topic for you guys.
Sorry, what's going on a bit?
On my channel, right?
Yes,
we're going to be doing our top 10 games of 2023.
Ooh, top 10 games. Now this could be what we play. This is what we play.
Anything you played in 2023, not games that were released in 2023. Your top 10 games that you played. You haven't played it in 2023. So if there's a game you want to play, you still have a week to get it played.
Ruff, have you played 10 games? No, I'm just kidding.
Probably not. No, probably not, to be honest with you.
Well, honestly, I know you have because we've played at least 5 or 6 on our own.
So, you're killing me, bro.
You played quite a bit you played quite a bit at PunchedCon, so you didn't just play Knock Paris, you played other stuff too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, no, true.
So you've played
war games only, obviously.
Yeah. What I think is interesting is as I go back and look at all the games I play a lot more than I think I do when it comes down to it. I don't play as much as Jester does.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, you actually play a lot more than you think and everything like that. And Jester, we will get something played either this week or next, something like that. We'll get it done because I'm trying to fill up my time.
Still waiting on you. So
I know it's me. I know it's me. I get it.
We know it's you. We know it's you.
So look for PAX premiere solo with me.
Liberty or Death would be a great one to get on the channel because I haven't done that one yet.
Which one?
Liberty or Death.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yep. I'll email you. I'll text you actually. It's better. I'll be able to see it. I'll text you. We'll get it set up. So yes, war games only. Yes, Edward, war games only. Okay, with that, next week we're on.
Are we doing something Friday or not?
Yes, I'll be with you.
To be confirmed.
What?
The game to be confirmed.
Yeah, game to be confirmed. Yes. Yeah.
It depends on how many games Ruff needs to play on his list.
Yeah.
So, okay. With that, thanks everybody. Thanks chat. Thanks Jester, Ruff. Thank you. It's been a great show and good conversations and very much. So with that, we will see you next time on Jester's channel. See you guys on Saturday. Bye.